staring at your computer or phone screen. You like screens? You like them? Screens? Yeah, you know, it's kind of a sign of the times. We spend so much time on TV and movies and smartphones and laptops that we just kind of zone out and ow! Oh, stupid self-hypnosis app. Where was I? Oh, yeah, right. Oh. But we see them everywhere, and it isn't just millennials. Some would have you believe it's undermining the foundation of modern society as we speak, but come on. They've been saying the same about video games for decades, and they haven't affected us, and I'll shoot anyone who disagrees, especially if you're a blood bug. But for all our casual acceptance of this visual media has, fans of the theme park industry still seem to cry foul every time a new ride or show opens at the parks and uses screens as part of its appeal, leading many to cry out, "Enough is enough!" At Disney, you have rides like Soarin', Turtle Talk with Crush, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, Mickey's PhilharMagic, It's Tough to Be a Bug, Ellen's Energy Adventure, Star Tours, Grand Fiesta Tour starring the Three Caballeros, Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, Mission Space, Flights of Passage, Journey into Imagination, and Path of the Jedi. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Disney is pretty big, so it makes sense that there'd be so many. SeaWorld Orlando has Wild Arctic, Turtle Trek, and Antarctica Empire of the Penguin. Well, that's a lot compared to how many. Universal has Shrek 4D, Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem, T2 3D, The Simpsons Ride, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, The Hogwarts Express, Transformers, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, Reign of Kong, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. Oh my Smoo! What the Smoo, guys? I'm sorry, I must apologize for my excessive and inappropriate language, but talk about overkill. At first, screens in theme parks were limited to 3D shows. After all, between theaters and one's own TV at home, why spend the money on an admission ticket to Disneyland when you could go see a movie at the cinema at 1/10 of the cost? So they had gimmicks thrown in. Well, not just 3D, since that was a dead fad from the 50s that never really panned out, but also things like Circle Vision, where guests would be literally surrounded by screens or involve live actors. Both would involve a degree of uniqueness that would warrant multiple guest viewings at a theme park. And it also enabled a greater reach into theming, using characters. Now, Doc Brown, Agent J, Robin Williams, and Frank Kincaid and General Knowledge could transcend the renowned fourth wall and fully immerse us in their world. They could look us in the eye and escort us on our journeys. Our passive participation became active. We were no longer observers, but participants, the main characters involved in the story at large. This is probably where it started. Rides, even simple ones, cost millions of dollars. From raw materials to safety inspections, even spinners require a lot of capital to be ready for the public. Live shows were a draw, but it also hinged on the expensive performers and could only run a few times a day, minimizing attendance. And theatrics, as in special effects and costumes, could only do so much. And it doesn't help when people like Michael Synergy Eisner are in charge and notoriously frugal. Then let's consider the other huge contributor, CGI. Much like in movies, when the suits found out what it was capable of, there was no stopping it. Suddenly, anything could be created. No, seriously, literally anything could be created. We could feel more immersed in the world of cartoons now that they had depth and texture. Monsters and explosions could be bigger, scarier, and closer. Camera angles could literally take us anywhere. You know, animatronics, models, and cutouts could only do so much and had to rely on writers' imaginations to weave a cohesive story. Even if that works, how can you say no to a moving, finely articulate character? Frankly, there's just no comparison. So, to recap, screens are super cheap, for the types of rides to make. They're super easy to maintain and fix. They make special effects bigger and better. They minimize park space. They can be reprogrammed or updated easily. And most importantly, are guaranteed hits for fans. Are Spider-Man fans going to be mad there isn't a 5'10" fully articulate Peter Parker animatronic waving and calling out names like E.T.? Well, sure. But on the other hand, a 3D screen CGI Parker crouches on your vehicle, shoots a web, quips, "Nice shades," and vaults away, something today's animatronics are a long ways away from doing. But, lest we forget, with great power comes great responsibility. Or chimichangas, I don't know, I get him and Deadpool mixed up a lot. The problem is when screens saturate the industry. Much like CGI in the movie industry, screens have become the go-to for making great-looking theme park rides on minimal budgets. And by practically abandoning ride tracks and animatronics, it's left a void for those who prefer the, well, practical effects. No matter how realistic they render every strand of fur on King Kong, that final animatronic will take your breath away. Flying behind Harry Potter is neat, but does it hold a candle to flying by a cranky dragon, a leering tarantula, a vindictive tree, and a pants-crappingly terrifying Dementor? And skidding around New York is neat, but how does it compare to the smell of gas and unpredictability of the Tomorrowland Speedway? You get the idea. Then there's the physical ride systems themselves. Think about it. On Spider-Man, Gringotts, Transformers, Universe of Energy, Seas with Nemo and Kong, you realize you just kind of slowly ride from one screen to the next and to the next, right? Then on Despicable Me, Jimmy Fallon, Shrek 4D, Star Tours, Wild Arctic, all you're doing is sitting in a seat as it bounces you around. Oh, well, how about on Soren and Harry Potter in The Forbidden Journey and Flights of Passage and Mission Space? Oh, you have specialized seats, but again, all they do is just bounce you around. And on Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, PhilharMagic, Turtle Talk, Tough to Be a Bug, Circle of Life, all you do is sit there. Now, there's nothing wrong with any of these attractions when it comes to their use of screens, on their own independently. The key, like anything, is moderation. As I stated before, there are tons of benefits to having screen-based attractions. However, some theme park fans have caught wind of the abundance of these attractions, and it looks like as though Star Wars Land might have a few, as well as Nintendo Land in all likelihood, and as well as the Fast and Furious ride coming soon. Sooner rather than later, though, we'll see enough of a backlash among the more general populace that'll force Disney and Universal to switch tacks. But it looks like it's going to be a while given that all the benefits to both the companies and the patrons. So, I say, enjoy them. They're creating good rides and shows, but don't be afraid to hold these guys to a higher standard. Diversity is the key to maximum appeal, and they shouldn't overuse this gift they've been given and bet on the wrong horse. Especially if said horse is a plastic seat and you're wearing 3D goggles. I'm TAP-G, and I'm fed up.